What's up, everybody? Drifty here from Driftwood Gaming, and we're going to do another tutorial. I got a special request from Lantern. Sorry, what's his name? His name is Lamppost Entertainment. I like lamp. His name is Lamppost Entertainment, and he wants a tutorial on, he says, dialogue with branching paths. Okay, so there's multiple ways you can do branching paths. But before we start, you should do this. Bring it up over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Go over to yanfly.mo and then go to plugins, and you want to download the core engine, the Yanfly core engine, and you want to get the message core, and then any other ones that you want to get as well. Right there is the address. Once you get those, actually, let me show you how to install them in case you don't know how to install them. I've done this in a previous video, but I'll show you anyway. Core engine, you just click on it, and then you're going to go to where you see the .js on the bottom for the English one, or if it's in Portuguese, you probably can't understand what I'm saying. So you see at the bottom left, you see yep_core engine.js, and you're going to right click that, you're going to save link as, and you're going to save it in your JS plugins folder. If you're not sure where to go for your JS plugins folder, you open up your MV, and you go to game, and you go to open folder, and you can see the data path right there. So it's right there. You want to go there into your JS plugins folder, save it in there, and do that for the core and the message core. It's important that you put the core engine above everything else. The Yanfly engine plugin core engine. It's like the foundation for the rest of them. They all reference variables and stuff that are in the core engine, so you want to put that one on the top. Once you've done that, you want to go to your message core and go to the help file, because this is going to help you immensely. There's so much information in here. Word wrapping is a really great addition that's been added. So how you use the word wrapping is this little function right here. You're going to basically copy that, and then you're going to paste that at the beginning of your text dialogue, and that's going to basically, so if you make a line that's too long, you're going to be able, it'll just auto word wrap it so that you don't, the reader isn't missing a few words. I'll show you that real quick. So we'll go to the event layer, right click, insert new. We'll make an event, and we'll say it's this dude, and we're going to right click show text, and we'll paste that little thing right there. Note tag is the name for that. So we're going to word wrap. This is a test for word wrap, and we will see if dialogue gets cut off or not. Blah blah blah. Some more stuff. Make a big giant line, because I think I have a 720p, so it might actually go all the way across and fit. So we're going to set the player's starting position by right clicking, set starting position player, hit save. We're going to execute the game, and now there it is. You see how the word wrap it works. Okay, so what we're going to do is edit this. And about branching dialogue, you can always show choices, it's in message right there, and you can give options. Like, let's impose a question first. He's going to say, I need help with clearing the tower and also the dungeon, which we can also impose. When you're writing dialogue for quests, you always want to include like a problem, like there's something wrong that the player needs to fix. So you can be like, we only have time to do one of these things. Which is more important? And then underneath that, we've created a situation now. Okay, we have to decide, are we going to go to the tower, or are we going to go to the dungeon? So, but the player is going to decide. So we're going to show choices. We're going to say, let's go to the tower. And then we're going to show, the next one's going to be, let's go to the dungeon. So we've given the player options here. And then we can say the dungeon door is locked and the tower door is locked. And this guy will give you a key to unlock it, but he'll only give you one. So if you want to make a branching choice that way, you can award an item, say, go to change items, and we're going to pretend that this potion is a key. And then and we're going to also pretend that this high potion is the tower key. So this will be the dungeon key and the tower, or actually the tower key and the dungeon key. So you can decide what you want to let the player do. But in order for the player to not just talk to him twice and get both keys, we're going to create a self switch. So at the end of each option, we're going to insert new. We're going to control a self switch. We're going to say A. And on this one, we'll do the same, because it doesn't matter which one they picked. They're going to go to the next page. So we're going to go to new event page, and now we're going to pick the same graphic unless you want them to just transform. And then we're going to select self switch A on. So once he's selected either of these options, he's no longer going to have the option to select the other one. He's going to go right over here and say, actually what we can do is, if we had, I want to create an item for this to show you guys. We're going to create a new item. This is going to be tower key, and this is going to be the dungeon key. You can give it a graphic description and all that stuff. We probably don't want them to be able to eat the key, so we'll say no. Save that. Oops, I didn't mean to play. Okay, so what we're going to do is change this item, edit, to say the tower key, and this one's going to be the dungeon key. So what we can do right here is we'll make a conditional statement. So we'll say new, and then we'll do conditional branch under flow control. And we're going to say if the actor, or the item, here we go, the item, this stupid bug gets on my nerves, it just deselects. If the tower key is in the inventory, then do this, and then underneath the end we'll make another conditional branch. If the item dungeon key is in the inventory, we'll do this. So he'll say, excellent. Now we have to kill all the bats in the tower. Boom. If he selected the dungeon key, we can say, great. Now we have to kill all the rats in the dungeon. Boom. And we can continue this further by going to our dungeon. We're going to say that we'll go to the draw layer. Oops, not fill. We'll go to this one, and we'll put the dungeon here. Dun, dun, dun. Put that right there. That'll be our dungeon, and then we'll make a tower here. Shouldn't be too hard. Make a tower there. And then how you would lock them out if they didn't have the key is, you know how you would normally right-click and insert like a transfer? What you would normally do is just transfer it, but if we want to put a door on it or something, we can give a door with no graphic. So we'll edit this, and we'll go to the top, and we'll put a conditional branch right at the top, and we're going to say the dungeon key has to be in the inventory. So we'll take the dungeon key, and we're going to copy all of this by left-clicking the top, and then holding shift and left-clicking the bottom. We're going to cut all of that. We're going to go inside of this conditional branch and paste it all. So he'll only be able to go in there, and if they have the dungeon key. And we'll test that in a minute. Also, we need to specify where they're going to go to. So we're going to edit the transfer. So we're going to edit that and select a new map. We're going to say that we'll actually have like some sort of dungeon. So we'll just put them right here. So that'll be the dungeon. This looks more dungeon-y though, so we'll put him here. And we can do the same thing for the tower. We'll right-click on the event layer, and we'll go door with no image, and it's going to teleport him to a tower. I have some crappy tower in here. Here we go, the tower. Let's more like a back and forth maze tower, but that's beside the point. And we'll edit this, and we'll, right at the top, we'll insert new conditional branch. And you could also bypass this conditional branch another way by just going over here by conditions, the item, and then selecting the item. This is a much easier way to do it, but I wanted to show you the other way as well. That way you can nest. He has to have a key and an orb or something, so you can select key and then new event, and you would do a conditional branch, and they have to have some special orb, you know, whatever it'll be. They have to have a sharpening stone to get in, and we can copy all of this, cut this, paste that. So now they have to have the tower key and the sharpening stone. Say we wanted to have a third thing, we would right click here, insert new conditional branch, and this is called nesting conditional statements. And say they have to have a dispel herb as well. We can copy all this, cut this, and put it in here. So now they have to have 3 items to get in. And you can create these nested conditional statements to come up with some pretty cool events, actually. So we don't want to have all of that, actually. So we can test what we're doing here. Paste that. And we can get rid of both of these because we're using this tower key here. So we'll edit. Did I already edit this? Oh, not the sound effect. This go. Yeah, it goes to the tower, right? Okay, so he's going to give us a key if we tell him. He's going to give us a dungeon key if we say dungeon key. He's going to give us a tower key if we say tower key. Might be some bugs, but let's test it real quick. So let's go and see if we can enter. No, we can't. We're not allowed to. It's not letting me. Right? So talk to him. This is a test for word wrap. Okay. Go help with clearing the dungeon. Let's go to the tower. Alright, what if we talk to him? Oh, we have to kill bats on the tower. But I wanted to go to the dungeon. Nope, you already said tower. Okay. There we go. This is not going to take me back to the starting map, but you guys get the idea. Alright, some other things to go over. There's another way you can make a like branching storyline. Say there's an item that let me see, how could I do this? Actually, there's like 2 NPCs. Say you have 2 NPCs, new event, and it's this one, and she wants, hey, I'm hungry, bring me a cookie. Okay, and we can basically copy this, paste this, edit this, change the graphic. It'll be this one. And she can be like, I'm hungry too, but I want the cookie. And we can say new event page, and we'll do the same graphic. Which graphic was that? Double check. Actor 2, okie doke. Actor 2, right here. And then we can make a conditional statement. If the item cookie is in the inventory, she'll go, hey, thanks. Here, have this. And then you can award an item for that. She gives you an axe for a cookie. And you can do the same thing here, event page, if the item cookie. I know that doesn't say cookie. Now it does. So if the item, wait, not here, on this one. If the item cookie is in the inventory, actor 2, you, she'll say, wow, that hit the spot. And we can also say, here, you can have this. Change item. She's going to give you an elixir. And then, so that's all great, right? But what if there's only one cookie in the game? So that's the thing. That doesn't need to be an event. So you can have branching dialogue based on having multiple NPCs who all want the same thing, but you have to decide who gets what and which direction you want to path. So that's another way you can branch the storyline and create diversity in your quest lines. There's another way that you can have like a branching dialogue. Excuse me. All right, so we have a goblin or something here, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, everyone in town thinks I'm gonna fight them, but I just wanna eat cookies." So we can have a choice to say, fight the goblin, or give him the cookie. And when you fight the goblin, you can insert battle processing. Right here, scene control 3, battle processing. And I don't have really a goblin set up. An orc, we can say an orc. Wait, I think I do have a... Come on, bug. It really doesn't matter, but you guys get the point. So you would have that's a bandit, but you would insert battle processing here, and then you can give him the cookie. So if you give him the cookie, what if you don't have a cookie, but you say you're going to give him a cookie? So you have to make sure that there's checks and balances to where players can't just select the option without having the appropriate items. So what you would do is you would create another conditional statement. This conditional branch thing is going to be your savior when it comes to making dialogues. So you can go item, cookie is in the inventory. So you have to, come on, I really hate that bug. I hope they fix that soon. Item cookie is in the inventory. Otherwise, this is one of the situations where we'll create an else branch. And what an else branch is saying like, is something going to happen if they don't have a cookie, or is it just only going to display something if they do? So in this situation, we're going to have a display for else. So if you do have a cookie and you said you're going to give him the cookie, what we're going to do is change items, and we're going to decrease that cookie. Otherwise, you're going to tell the player's going to say, or the orc going to say, "Hey, you know has cookie." And that's it. Also, if you want to take that dialogue farther, you can, what did I pick, monster? Whatever, he's going to transform. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to insert a control self switch, A. But if we say no, we don't want to do the self switch because we want to give the player the option to come back, unless you don't, and deliver the cookie later. So he'll just say, "No, you know has cookie," and then you can talk to him again and when you have the cookie. But if you gave him the cookie, he's going to be like, we have to select this for self switch A because that's the one we turned on. He's going to be like, "Thank you. I'm actually an angel," or something like that. "Here, take this for your kindness." And she's going to give you a little tiny bit of gold, just a little bit. That's a few ideas. I mean, you could really go on all day with different options. RPG Maker MV is pretty good with letting you create different dialogue options. But what I want to do before I end this video is go over a little bit more of Yanfly's message core. Some of the cool things you can do. What I like to do is, let's create a new graphic here. It's going to be a bat. And the bat's going to show text, but there's little commands you can do with the /. So you can go eek, or ew, eek, eek, whatever, and then /, and you can do a dot. And basically that's going to create a 1/4 of a second pause. Eek, 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 eek. And then you can also go / and then hold shift with the /, and that'll display the whole line right off the bat. I think that's what it does, but we'll test it right now. Put some spaces in there. Another one you can do, let's actually go to the help file so I don't give you guys wrong information. All the text codes are in here, all the cool stuff you can do. Oh, I do this one all the time, call for a variable. I actually have an item that, go to my common events, called check skill. And basically, it's just when you use an item, it calls for a common event, and all the common event does is show text. But what it's going to do is show you what's the number that's being stored in variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, and so forth. And instead of saying fire semicolon space slash v1 when you preview it, it's going to show you numbers because these are all variables. Now, by default, all your variables are set to 0, but in the game, when you level up your skills, you start getting these numbers start rising. So that's how you would call for a variable. /v, and then within brackets you give it the number. And what the number is just when you go to control variables, you can see the number right before the name that you type. So this would be variable 1, this is variable 2, variable 3, and so forth. What else can you do? You can do all kinds of stuff with the message core. You can display the name of a character. So if you wanted to display a name of a character, you would go show text hello / N whoever's in slot 12. So that the 12 is how you decide which character you're calling is right here under actors. So that would say hello Rowan when you preview that text. Capital P will tell you with the N will give you the name of the party member. So if and how that works is, I'll show you real quick. Yes, I would like to save. The party members are numbered from the top to the bottom. So depending on how your formation is, that's going to determine. Well, I only have one, but this would be 1 right here. So whoever's right here would be 2, would be 3 before. And if you switch these around, they'll call you by different names, or the dialogue will change based on the formation. So if you talk to them and you're with that dialogue, they'll say hello Drifty. But if you put like somebody else, like say Mia in the first one, he'll say hello Mia. So that's how you would use that one. Message core help. This is where you're going to be going to all the time. And you could actually copy all of this with Control C and then open up like a new text file or something and then paste it into a text file. Could be on your desktop or wherever. And then you could paste that. That way you don't have to keep opening up the help file all the time. You have this little point of reference. Nice little notepad right there. And then while you're doing your dialogue, you can reference that in the middle of the sentence. So let's just play around with another text, show text, and let's add a little bit of all these. So we're going to say capital N is the name of the actor, but we also have to include brackets. In slot 12, that's P1 is the name of the person in slot 1 of your party. Oh yeah, this one I use sometimes. /G will show you is the blings. These. It'll show you the name of the currency, and when you're in game, it'll show you an icon right there too. New show text. And basically you can go through these and figure out what they all do. Increases the text size by 1. That's pretty cool too. I haven't actually used this too much, but I like the idea of having this. The brace. This should be bigger. I wonder if let's test something. What if we do that? Is this gonna break? This breaks the game? Or what if we have to put in a number? Do we have to go like that? I think we have to put in a number. No, we don't put in a number. Let's see what happens. And then more breaking the game. I know my spelling is uber. Let's just go in game and talk and see what this bat has to tell us. But play around with all these options and try to make interesting dialogue that doesn't just Do you see how it's like pausing? I wasn't even pressing everything, and it went and did the whole line. Hello, Rowan. That's when it says slash P, and then slash N is going to be the slash DG. It actually didn't show the icon, so this should be bigger. This breaks the game? No, it actually doesn't break the game. It just, oh, I can't, excuse me. I see how it works now. So it upgrades the text. So once you do that, it makes all the text bigger. And then I guess the other one, oops. Yeah, that makes sense. So this doesn't matter, and this doesn't matter. But what this is doing is saying everything after this is going to be bigger text. Everything after that is going to be even bigger. And then to make it smaller, we would probably go like that. Let me reference this. Yeah, that's how we would bring it back down. Smaller text. And let's see how small, oops, that's the end of that. Let's see how small we can actually make it. Smaller. / smaller? Question mark? I was pressing at that time, but it would have done that anyway. Nope, it doesn't break the game. Wow, it does smaller. Smaller? Smaller? That's cool. So if you wanted to make something like, I have an idea. Like if you wanted to make a text, let's bring it back up to speed. So if we wanted to bring it, let me see, was it that direction? No, this is bigger. So we can go like that, and then like that, and then like that, and then like that, and it'll go from the small one right to the big one. Big! And then we'll go like this, like this, like this, like this. Tiny! Okay, okay. Let's see if that works. Smaller, smaller. Big. Tiny. Yes. So that works. Let's move on down. Replaced with the / character. What does that do? Let's figure it out. I'm not sure. I've never used that. Show text. So if we go // what's this do? We should probably make our text bigger again. I keep forgetting which one. Yeah, this one is bigger. Okay, so let's go up like 3. And then we'll see, what does that do? And then do some other stuff. Yellow Rowan, Rowan's name, some, bigger, bigger, bigger. Smaller, smaller, smaller. Big, tiny. What's this do? I don't even know. Not very sure. Message core. I want to see what else it has to do. This is the dot that I showed you at the beginning, and this is the that's the slash. Yeah, that's the one that waits for 1 second, and then it shows the whole line. And then the exclamation mark, I use this one too, when you want to wait for the player to input something. So I could show you that real quick. So when you have a, let's make a new event. This is getting a little convoluted. We want to have a, my name is D. We'll do exclamation D /R /I/ exclamation grip T, and then an exclamation at the end. And let's see what happens. Should probably give that a graphic. Perfect. You can maybe hear me. I have to press the button each time. There you go. There was a couple more options. Display remaining text on same line all at once. Let's figure out what that does. Show text. Display remaining text. So we'll say this is text, and then what was it, like that? Yeah, greater than. Displays remaining text on the same line, question mark. And I purposely left some space here to see if it'll push this up there. I want to see if that works. That's what I'm thinking it'll do. No, it didn't push that up. I'm not sure what that one does. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments below. Cancel the effort that displays text all at once. Okay. Wait. Do not wait for input after displaying text. Oh, if you want to have something like auto scrolling, you can use that the hyphen. That is a I think that's a shift 7. No, shift 6. There once was a man from Nantucket. You know how the story goes. There is more dialogue here. And then what if we go and do that again right here? Or maybe that has to be at the end. Does that have to be at the end? Questions? Pressing buttons. Okay, now I'm not pressing anything. Okay, you see, that was cool. That's what happens. So at the end, I wasn't pressing anything, and it just displayed it all by itself. So that's pretty cool. You can have you can decide how long you want it to display. Oh, I have an idea. So if you combined this little bracket thingy right there with like these little timing spaces, you can make the emphasis on certain words. Like beat or beep, deep. That's a good emphasis. No, that didn't work because I didn't type it right. That is very, very silly of me. Yeah, it's a // not a backslash. But yeah, let's look at something else that it can do. Message core, if we go down, we can show colors too. Oh, you can insert a weight right there. So if you go //W with the number of frames in brackets, you can have it weight. So 60 would be 1 second. This is something that pretty much you want to use on all of your games towards the end right here. This is going to create a name box. So we'll copy this too. And you put a note there, works for messaging window only. And with X, with string. Pixie. Hello, my name is Pixie. Let's see how that looks in game. Aha, you see right here in the top left, we've got Pixie. Hello, my name is Pixie. So you're going to use that when you're trying to build especially if when you're trying to build your characters, especially if your game is very character driven. That helps the players clearly know who's saying what. and you can center it or put it towards the right or the left. It's default by the left, so you would just write /n and then the name. If you wanted to center, you would add a C to that. If you wanted to the right, you add a R. Pretty simple. That's a good one. That's probably the one of the better ones from here. Line break. If you're using the word wrap, this will get rid of that word wrap. Sets X position to the text of X. Sets Y position to the text of Y. That probably has to do with pixel position. Outline. You can give an outline color. And then I think if you go into your system, you can see all the colors. So we'll go to, close that. We'll open up, let's close this too. Go to Game, Open Folder, and then we'll go to Image, and then we'll go to System, and then you're going to go over to right here. Why is it file checking? Oh, because of, so these are all your system colors. I believe this is 0. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's like 24 or 20 something of them. Now I think you can find this out really easy. Yanfly might have it up too. Should probably check. But I don't want this video to go on too long, so we'll just go back in here. But you can also play around with it. Let's find out real quick. Why is this up? We don't need this up. Oh yeah, we'll go to plugins, message core, go to the help file. And we are setting our outline color. And then we can set our font colors. Copy that real quick to our text file. The best way to learn is by doing, so just mess around with all this stuff and you'll figure it all out. I haven't even, as you can tell, I haven't even used most of these things here, but I do use some of them. Let's play with the color real quick. OCX, so we're going to go OC, and then we'll say 3. This is 3. We can go /OC 4. This is 4. You might even want to make like an NPC that does this and spits out all of the numbers. So you can use an in-game NPC as a point of reference. I wonder if we just hit preview, will it show it? This is 2. You can even bypass the this is. It won't show it right here, but we'll figure it out. Ah, that looks pretty cool. You know what would be cool is coming up with like a scheme, like a reoccurring thing. Like every time you reference an item, use a specific color just for items. Every time you reference a location, use a specific color for just locations. And that would be a good way for people to just quickly read through all your dialogue, especially if it's a really story-driven game where they can. You don't want them to miss, like, oh, they have to go to the tower of something. Then you can highlight that tower of something. Let's go back to this guy. And let's say all the locations, we're going to go /OC7. So every time, I don't even know what color that is, but every time we reference a location, we'll say, but how do we get rid of the color? There's got to be a way to set the outline width, so you can even change that. So I'm assuming that outline color is set to a certain color by default. So it's probably 0 or 1, but we can test that. Let's go ahead and test that. So if I go like this, OC 0, will it get rid of the outline? Let's find out. And then we can go /OC 7 again because we're talking about a location now. We'll go ahead and move on to the end, and we'll go slash OC 0 again. Now let's talk to this guy and see when he asks about the locations if they're in color, and does it switch colors. Okay, so the outline 0 is white, but it's the text isn't outlined by default. So it's showing 7 is this color. I'm pointing at my screen like you guys can see that. 7 is this color, and then the outline of 0 is this color, and then it's doing 7 again and then 0 again. But that's not back to default. So let's figure out how we get rid of the outline. Or maybe that is the default, but the outline width is different. Resets all font changes. Changes the size to X. Changes. So instead of just saying slightly bigger with that bracket one, we can just set the font size. That's pretty cool. Toggles the bold, italic. You can show any face with just a slash command. That is pretty cool. I want to see if we type in /FR, will it go back to like default? Let's close that, okay that, okay that. Let's go back here and let's go to this dialog. And what if we go, instead of OC0, let's go, what is it, FR? Resets all font changes. Yeah, and then continue on this way. And instead of outline of 0, we're going to go FR again. Let's see what that does. Ah, there we go. So, but I don't like that color. That we'll do it like a something that pops more, like pink or purple or green or yellow. But you see what we did right there to highlight text. Let's go back to the source. We did OC, which is outline color, 7. Let's just pick 13, and then we're going /FR, and that's going to revert all the changes we did back to the default. So then we'll go 13 again. And then we could probably even put this in the show choice. Let's find out if it's like that. What is it? OC 13 we went with. And then we also want to get rid of that in case it bleeds to the next one, so we'll go /FR at the end. And we'll punctuation. Let's see if that works. Ah, it does. That is pretty cool. I think with this video has gone on long enough, and I've given you guys enough ideas to make some interesting dialogue. We talked about branching. We talked about doing multiple NPCs wanting the same item, how to create doors that require passwords or pass items, and not passwords, we haven't done that, but we'll do passwords in another video. We went over some of Yanfly's scripts. I showed you how to get them. Showed you basically this is where you're going to spend most of your time, in this thing, or copy paste into a text file. But that'll do it for this video. I know it ran on quite a long time. Sorry about that, but if you stuck with me this long, you're the man, or woman, however it is. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like this video if you did like it. Subscribe if you want more tutorials like this, and we'll see you guys in the next tutorial.